Thank you for the likes on TikTok. Hello, legendary Nami. I'm painting a marina. Welcome, everybody. Right now, I'm working on the sky. We have to start with a white underlayer to do this. It makes painting the sky a lot easier. All right, we might almost be ready for this. Let's try it. Okay. Let's go for it. Okay. Okay. Let's try this. There. Yeah. When I do this, the clouds just kind of appear. Crisscross strokes makes it a lot easier. Hello there, Corn. How's it going? How long have I been painting for? That's a good question. All my life, really. So about 20 some odd years. There. We'll just get a little bit more blue up there. There. Well, things get a little bit lighter as we're going down. There. It's a little bit of an awkward angle. There. Yeah. Is that so, Daxley? I'm sorry to hear about that. Okay. Yeah, we'll get some of this at the top too. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, things are looking pretty okay. A wet or a dry brush? Your brush is, well, if you're oil painting, it's not really going to be all that wet unless you have oil on it or something, but even then, I guess it just depends how much oil you want to use on your painting. All right, let's get a little bit more of this. Yes, this isn't a watercolor painting, so wet isn't really part of the equation. But Generally, you should paint from lean to fat, which means more oil as you paint layers up on an oil painting. All right, let's go ahead and just get a little bit more. Yeah, right about in there. Maybe something up here. There. Maybe just a little bit more down here. All right. Thank you, Legendary Nami. I appreciate that. Let's see, maybe a little something up here too. Let's blend out the bottom just a little bit there. Gotta be very gentle when you're forming clouds. Clouds are very delicate. Just a light touch is all you need. There. Yeah. I don't know if we need to mess around with too many more clouds. Not right now, at least. But maybe we'll get a few more over here. Just a little bit. Yeah. We're getting to the point where we need to start painting the lower part of the sky and then move into the marina. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's maybe dabble in some alizarin crimson. Just get a touch. A touch. Not too much. Not too much. There. Okay. Now let's just very delicately get some in there. The bottom of those clouds. There. Yeah. Very, very light amount. Okay. Into the shadow parts. Yeah. That's going to be okay. All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. That alizarin crimson. Let's just. Do we want to put some up there too? Maybe. 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 Just a touch. To go along with our blue. There. There. That alizarin crimson will really bring things together later. Perfect. Okay. All right. I'm thinking that we want to start thinking about maybe, I don't know, putting in some trees down here, maybe. Something like that. That might be the thing to do. Yeah, I have a funny feeling. What's my favorite painting? Oh, I don't know. I've always been a fan of the old masters and Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali and a lot of different modernist painters. It's hard to pick just one. If I had to say any, I'd always fall back on the usuals. Monet and Van Gogh are always favorites, and for good reason. They painted so beautifully all the time. You never get enough of them, really. Let's go with a dark blue color here, I think. Okay, we'll start with a dark green. Just a dark, muted blue. Well, blue-ish green, I guess we'll call it. I don't know. Just something that's got some shadow to it. Something that looks very olivey. Olivey. I guess that's a word now. Okay. I think we're onto something here. Let me wipe off my brush. I need my paper towels. Oof. Okay. Let's put down the knife for a second. Good. Okay. All right. Let's go for it, soulmates. I think we'll start. Ooh, right around here. Let's just not get too specific here. We're just going to scrub in some dark things down here. A lot of this is going to get covered up later. So we're not too particular right now, I don't think. Not really. Yeah. A lot of that is going to get all covered up. Matter of fact, let's just do it like this. Tap it in. It's one of the easiest ways to just get a dart going on your painting for foliage. Tap it in with the bristles and just let the bristles do the work. There. That's good. That's good. Okay. Let's bring it all the way over this way. You can always go back and refine your painting in later if you really, really want to. You don't have to mirror yourself to your painting when you do it. You can always paint over stuff later if you don't like it. It's all good. But I think we've got a good base there for what we're going to use. We'll go all the way across, though, just to get us to about yay distance. As I say, a lot of what we're seeing here, it's probably going to get covered up. So we don't want to get too detailed. Okay. Really want to keep those layers thin at the beginning. We don't want to get them too thick. No, that wouldn't be very good at all. Okay. Let's go ahead with something a little bit brighter now. Something with a little bit more yellow in it, I think. Yeah. Something with a little bit more yellow in it. Yeah. The light is going to be coming in from the right side of the picture. So we want to make sure that we kind of just angle the light as it's going across all these trees and foliage and whatnot. So we'll just very delicately get some things in there. There. Make sure we get a little bit more yellow in there. Maybe more yellow than we think we should need. Doesn't hurt to have a little variety on that. There. Sometimes you surprise yourself. You really do. Okay. I kind of wish I would have gotten a little bit more blue in the shadows over there. Now that I really think about it, but, well, you know. We might be overdoing this. I don't know yet. Oh, buddy. Well, if we do, like I say, we'll just overpaint it. Okay. It's one of those things about painting. Even if you do mess it up, well, sometimes you still mess things up, even if you've been doing things for a while. And you learn from your mistakes. You pick up things, you learn things. And eventually, you just get better. All right. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some white here. Actually, let's clean off the palette knife. Palette knife is looking a little dirty at this point. It could use a little scrub. Better. Okay. Now let's take a little bit of that white. Let's take a little yellow. Not too much, just a little dab of it. I might have taken too much. Sometimes you surprise yourself. Yellow is a very powerful color sometimes, when you least expect it to be. Okay. I think I'm onto something here. All right. I would like to get myself something special over here. If you're just joining, my friends, welcome. It's good to have all you here with me. And I hope that you're all having a good night tonight, or a good morning, or a good, well, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are. What I'm doing is I'm really getting in some of these oddly colorful clouds that kind of sneak up on us in the foreground. I might even get a little bit of this up here. I don't know. Something about that orange just, don't know, feels right. Yeah. The orange orange just juxtaposed against that purple down below. It's beautiful. Okay. All right, let's make some decisions about what we want to do next. I think what we should do is go with something a little bit more muted. Yeah, let's go with something a little bit more muted. Okay. Let's add a little bit of white. Okay. I think I kind of like the color that I have here. This is more of a, feels like kind of a slate gray color. It's very pretty. But also, you need those muted colors when you're painting. Not everything can be bright all the time. Otherwise, it gets to be a pretty dull painting very quickly. All right. Let's see here. Let's see how we pull this off. I think this will go right about here. Yeah. There. Right about in there. Let's start blocking out some shapes for the boats. And we'll start with this kind of slate gray color, I guess you could call it. And we'll draw it all the way down here. Just going this way. Okay. Matter of fact, what I might do is let's do this. We'll scratch out some things here. That doesn't really need to be there. This top part kind of does. But a lot of this, here we'll just cut some things out there. There. then this line will just go, it'll continue right about down there. And there'll be some more boats that are kind of just hanging out over here. Yeah. Right about, oh, let's scratch it in right about there. Yeah. Okay. All right. With that, let's continue painting in some of this gray that we have mixed up. And don't be shy about blocking in shapes. Again, we can paint things in if it's not to our satisfaction. We're not married to anything right now. We're okay. But we do want to paint our background objects in, our shadow colors first, before we do anything. Hello there, moonlight. How are you tonight? Or today? Hope that you're having an okay day today. Or an okay night, depending on where you are. This is gonna go down to about halfway, so like right about here, ballpark. Yeah, right about there is good, I think. Thank you for the likes, Moonlight. Excuse me, Moonlight. I really appreciate that. Okay. Probably want to make a little bit more gray here. I think we'll get down to that right now. Luckily, I have a little bit of a violet color left over from another painting that I can still use. Should make things a little bit easier. Okay. We'll add a little bit of the lizard crimson to this. Yeah. A little bit of yellow. And a little white. All right. Oh boy. Getting paint all over my hands tonight. Well, what else is new, right? Business as usual, you might say. Let's add a little bit more white. I've almost got this color mixed up, I think. It's fun mixing up neutrals. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now that is a lovely purple. Okay. after all these shadows are done, we can start painting in some of the details on the boats. Thankfully. There's a lot of little things that we got to do when we're painting. We have to be very aware of all the layers. We have to be very aware of all the shadows and the highlights. And painting in layers is always a good idea. Starting from back to front is always a good idea. Let's see here. I wonder if we have enough to do this. I hope so. There is a color I really would like to get, but I need perhaps a little bit more paint than I'm prepared to do it. Well, I might have found some. Actually, I found a little bit more violet here that I can work with. That's good. That means we can get this down. Okay. So right about here, we're going to start painting these. Okay. And these are, I don't even know what to call these, but they're a very interesting looking thing that you see around marinas. I don't know. When you paint things like this, you don't necessarily know what everything's called. You just know shapes. Shapes, and more shapes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Everything looking very pretty right now. Things will shape up eventually. Matter of fact, they might already be shaping up. Yeah, that's looking interesting. Okay. Let's throw a couple more, like right about here, ballpark. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, feeling pretty good about all that so far. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think I'll take one stretch of this. We'll put a little bit more right down this way with this dark violet color. Yeah. Okay. And I kind of want to blend out some of the things that we've done in those clouds up above. I don't know. It may be worth going over them with an even lighter orange than I've already done. Okay. Let's see how this goes. No, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Let's try something else. I got an idea. We should probably clean off the brush. Okay, now let's try it. Very, very delicately. Maybe just. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think we're off to a decent start here. Let's continue this again next time, my friends. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. Good night, my friends. Or good morning, whichever.